Right, we going impromptu here. Going to talk about the NBA All Star Weekend coming up, what I think of it. Give it another minute or two, get a few more people in the chat, and we'll talk about it. Let's give it another minute. Share this bad boy out first, and we'll get something going. All right. Got one more minute. All right. Then we're going to talk about this a little bit, give my thoughts. Because I've seen it, and I think it's pretty interesting. A little more interesting than talking about what happened with the Sixers last night at home. Wearing their throwbacks against the Knicks and getting cremated by the Knicks. Alright, just going to share this out. Let you know, NBA fans, we live to discuss NBA All-Star Weekend. So that's what we're going to do. Share it out and discuss. So, let's go. And I'm going to share it out to my channel as well. And there we go. So, there's some interesting things I wanted to talk about. So, last night I was looking up who at ESPN on. I was looking up at the TVs to see, one thing that caught my attention first was the three-point shootout lineup. There was one choice for the lineup I felt was a bit controversial. Yeah, I'll tell you who it is, and I'll explain why in a minute. Talk about the All-Star games itself, Rising Stars Challenge, all that. Let you know what I think, skills contest, etc. So, that's going to be the plan right here. Man, but I just want to say, the Sixers game last night, that's a forgettable, extremely forgettable last night. God damn, they got curb stomped. And wasn't even close against the Knicks either. It was just, man, you wanted to talk about a way to let somebody new. I mean, look, basically, you wanted to let a new player get a great start on their new team. The Sixers did a great job last night letting Jose Alvarado feel comfortable in the Knicks uniform. 19 minutes, 26, 4 assists and 3 boards. I mean, god damn. I mean, I'll say this, good for Jose Alvarado. He got a great start with the Knicks and a team that's still in a race for the top of the Eastern Conference. So, good for him. And for the Sixers, again, this is why I think they're at best a playoff team, not a contender. But this one's more about NBA All-Star Weekend itself than it was the Sixers, so that'll be for another time. And there'll be some Sixers players mentioned we talked about. Let's start off with the three-point contest while that's still fresh in my mind, because I saw the lineup for the three-point contest. We got Devin Booker, Con Knueppel, who's Rookie of the Year contender with the Hornets, Tyrese Maxey, Sixers, Norman Powell from the Heat, Bobby Portis from the Bucks, Jamal Murray from the Nuggets, Donovan Mitchell from the Cavs, and Portland Trailblazer Damian Lillard. That's the one that caught my attention because Dame hasn't played a single game this season. Last game he went down with the Achilles in the playoffs for the Bucks in the opening round, and now here he is without playing a single game in the three-point shootout. Which, now I get the business side of it because you want to draw people to see the shootout. And Damian Lillard in a three-point shootout is a draw. One of the best three-point shooters of all time. One of the best players of the 2010s. I get it. Pretty cool. But, at the same time, we know what the real reason he's in this for. To draw. And I get it. You put Damian Lillard's name on the three-point shootout poster. It'll draw some intrigue, potentially get some eyeballs to watch the contest. I get that. Because especially for fans that miss seeing Lillard on the court, it'll get his fan base interested. Say, oh, we get to see Dame Lillard in the three-point contest. But at the same time, I feel it's a disrespect to the players that have been playing this season. Well, I get the business side of it. We want to draw as many eyeballs, try to get some ratings going for that with NBC and Peacock. I get it. But at the same time, particularly several players were snubbed, particularly Trey Murphy from the Pelicans, who this year ranks sixth in the NBA with 166 three-point shots made this season. Why not put him in the contest? Now, instead, or you could do is maybe take Lillard out of the contest itself, have Lillard host the three-point contest, and put Trey Murphy in. You could easily keep some of those other guys like Maxey, Knepel, Booker, Powell, Mitchell, so on and so forth. Put Trey Murphy in the contest and work out a deal where Dame Lillard's the host of the three-point shootout, so you can put his name on the poster, draw some intrigue, just for people to see Dame Lillard on their screen. You could still do that while still at least giving someone like a Trey Murphy an opportunity to participate. Because to be fair, Murphy's three-point shooting's really the best thing about the Pelicans this season. At least give the man his flowers and at least give him a shot to participate. Because Dame Lillard, yeah, I get it. I get he's a draw. Yeah, I understand the business side of it. You want people to tune in, but at the same time, man, it is a disrespect to the players, too, that you're just going to give Dame Lillard, without playing a single game, the opportunity to participate in the three-point shootout. And likely he's not going to play. I don't think, last time I checked, he's not playing at all this season. So he's going to go in just for one contest, and then you're not going to see him on the court the rest of the season. You'll just see him on the sidelines or at the Trailblazers home games as sideline cheerleader to get the crowd into the game. I mean, come on. I think, yeah, like I said, with that one, I like some of the other choices like Knepel, Maxey, Booker, Mitchell, and those guys. But I would take Lillard out, put Trey Murphy in there, have Lillard be the host of the three-point shootout so you can put him on the poster and draw some intrigue. That's what I would do. But obviously the NBA decided to do what they wanted to do, and there's nothing we can do about it personally. So it's going to be what it's going to be, but hey, that's the business world for you. That's the politics of it. Of the All-Star weekend. It's not just basketball, too. All sports have this, let's face it. All-Star events in sports are, to a certain degree, a popularity contest, let's face it. It's always some of the ones that are the most popular, that they feel will draw the most people to the arenas, or get most people to either watch the highlights or watch the game. They put them in there for ratings and revenue purposes. That's one of the main selling points of the All-Star event. Yeah, it may to some degree be based on the field, on the court, on the ice, wherever sport it is may be based on what happens within the sport itself, but it's also in part a popularity contest. And that's just a reminder of it right there, with Dame Lillard being in the three-point shootout when he hasn't played a game all season. But it's, I kind of feel bad. I do feel bad for Trey Murphy because he could have gotten in. There's even a few Boston players that you could have made a case for. But they just didn't do it. So, hey, but that's bad. That's all sports for you right there. But that's not the only event we got to go. So the three-point contest itself, I do like some of the participants, though, like I said. Knepel, who's been having an excellent rookie season. And then you see him with the Hornets once LaMelo Ball decided. I guess he decided his 2026 New Year's resolution was to improve his game. And with Knepel and LaMelo leading the way, the Hornets have been on a little bit of a hot run. And with the Bulls, who are currently in the play-in tournament, just deciding to blow it all up with the Vucevic trade, the Hornets could easily work their way into the play-in, and the Bulls could take a huge drop for the remainder of the season. So Knepel's played a big role in the Hornets turnaround alongside LaMelo Ball since the turn in 2026, where they still have a shot at the play-in tournament. And then, of course, Devin Booker, he's been having an excellent season, and the Suns have been exceeding expectations going into the season, mainly due to Devin Booker's play. Tyrese Maxey's having another really good year. So I like some of the choices for the three-point shootout outside of it, too. So it will be interesting to see. So it's like, but I do wish they would have decided to use Lillard in a different capacity, maybe as the host instead of a participant, because I feel like that's a snub to someone, to at least one person who is actually playing. But moving right along, I said enough about the three-point shootout. Now we're going to go to the Kia Shooting Stars Challenge. You got the four teams in this. You got Coach Rip Hamilton with Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes. All right. Decent. You got Coach Allen Houston with Brunson and Towns. The Knicks trio right there. Allen Houston, one of the great three-point shooters and one of the best shooters in Knicks franchise history. Then you got Jalen Johnson, Con Kneppel with Corey Maggette as their coach, and that Team Cameron. Then you got Team Harper, Ron Harper Sr., Dylan Harper, Ron Harper Jr. That's kind of a nice little mix right there. You got the Harper family in that one. That's going to be kind of cool right there. So, the shooting challenge should be interesting right there. You got some, of course, Brunson in there, Karl Anthony Towns, Con Kneppel, Dylan Harper. You got Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes. It'll be an interesting event to see. So, hey. To me, it's an event in the All-Star Weekend. That's really what it is. I don't have any complaints or gripes about this one at all. Just, it'll be interesting to see. It's kind of the warm-up act, before eventually you get to the three-point shootout and the slam dunk contest, which, well, now, really, the three-point shootout's been the main draw in recent years. We know historically the slam dunk contest is the draw, but recent years, more people are more interested in the three-point shootout. We haven't had a lot of great slam dunk contest moments. We had Mac McClung had a few nice dunks. We had that one year, was it Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine in 2016 was good. But outside a few gems here and there, the dunk contest in recent years hasn't been as interesting. And when I look at the dunk contest this year, that's the next event, you got Jace Richardson, who is actually Jason Richardson II. That'll draw some intrigue just because, hey, it's Jason Richardson's son. We'll have to see how that goes. But some of the other names on here are just, I don't really see anything interesting. When I look at this, I don't. I just look at this and I'm like, outside of Jace Richardson, just to see if he can emulate his father, I look at the names, I don't really see anything spectacular. Keyshawn Johnson from the Miami Heat, nothing special really there. He's just a guy on the team. Jackson Hayes from the Lakers, just another name on the roster. That's unfortunately part of the thing with this is more about the slam dunk contest in recent years than it is this year. Jackson Hayes is an alright player. He's a decent role player. From time to time, he'll give some decent games like he did a few days ago. He had 13 points against the Spurs, but the slam dunk contest in itself particularly, main reason it's not that interesting is because there's no real names in it anymore. We go throughout, I'm going to briefly pull up slam dunk contest history. I'm going to look at it from hand to hand. You're going to see a trend. Contest. So we're going to go kind of look at some of the past slam dunk contests, see who some of the participants were, and kind of indicate why people have lost interest in it throughout the years. We'll kind of go through try to find a year by year or a summary. Because I remember, especially back, because what was it? Let's take a look. Well, I did find the winners of the slam dunk contest. So let's take a look. Originally it started with, back when it was the ABA, Julius Erving won it for the Nets in 76. All right, Dr. J is considered one of the greatest dunkers of all time. Highlight reel player. Then you had, You had Darnell Hillman. I don't know who that is. Let's be real. But then you had a few years it disappeared. It came back in 84. You had Larry Nance Sr. from the Phoenix Suns win it. He was one of the more exciting players that era. Not necessarily one of the best, but one of the exciting players, highlight reel-wise. All right, fair enough. 85, Dominique. And then you had Spud Webb in 86, one of the best, with all due respect to Nate Robinson, the best small dunker. And then you had 87 and 88. Jordan won the contest. Of course, you had that infamous Jordan versus Wilkins finish to the slam dunk contest. And you had Kenny Walker in 89 for the Knicks. Dominique again, 1990. But you had guys like Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins in the slam dunk contest. It kind of in the 90s took a little bit of a dip. You had Kobe Bryant, 97 was the last for 2 seasons. Then it had a revival in 2000 out in Oakland with Vince Carter. Vince Carter went out and had one of the arguably outside of Jordan, Wilkins had the greatest slam dunk contest performance in history in that 2000. We remember Vince Carter set the tone early, and Kenny the Jet Smith on commentary saying, "Let's go home. It's over, ladies and gentlemen." Like, those were some classic slam dunk contest moments. You even had, like, 2002, 2003, Jason Richardson, the original Jason Richardson, lit up the slam dunk contest with some highlight reel dunks. And then you had Dwight Howard with the Superman cape. You had Blake Griffin jumping over a car, which wasn't a great dunk itself, but it was a cool visual. And then after that, it kind of fell off. You had 2014, John Wall in New Orleans won in what I think was the worst slam dunk contest in history. And then you had 2016, Zach LaVine had that slam dunk contest win in what was an exciting finish that year. And then after that, outside of some occasional Mac McClung highlight reel dunks, the slam dunk contest hasn't really bent that much. And I really don't think people are that interested. Really, because you look at a lot of the names in it, there's not really a lot of interesting names in it. Like, even 2000, when Vince Carter had that highlight reel, you still had T-Mac was in there too. T-Mac drew some in. So you had Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady in the slam dunk contest in 2000. That generated some intrigue. You had Kenny the Jet Smith had a few of those appearances. And you've had guys historically that were fun to watch in the dunk contest. You had even Dwight Howard at times, but ever since that 2016 one, that was like the last fun dunk contest. Outside of that, it's there. And furthermore, like I said, when it comes to the Mac McClung, he's in the only notable part of the contest the past couple years, and as of now, he's not even in it. And that's not going to draw people to watch it because, look, if there's any interesting dunks, people can just catch the highlights of it on YouTube the next day. You don't have to tune in to actually see the dunks. And even if you do tune into the TV, you're still going to see it on SportsCenter the next day. So why necessarily tune in to watch the contest when you know if there's anything you missed, you'll just catch it afterward, either through YouTube or SportsCenter. It's like, so a lot of people don't feel like they have to waste their time tuning in to watch a dunk contest when they can just catch the highlights afterward, if there's anything exciting. So, yeah, obviously that doesn't draw people to watch. So, so when it comes to the Saturday events, you got, like I said, the 3-point shootout actually has some interesting names. The Shooting Stars contest looks interesting on paper. Like I said, you had teams with Scotty Barnes, Chet Holmgren, Coach Rip Hamilton. Next team, Knicks, you got Allen Houston as the coach, Cat and Jalen Brunson. Team Cameron, you got Corey Maggette, Jalen Johnson, and Con Kneppel. Then Team Harper, Ron Harper Sr. as the coach, Ron Harper Jr. and Dylan Harper. That looks like it could be a little bit interesting. And the 3-point shootout, even though I don't agree with Dame Lillard being in it because he hasn't played, I get why he's in it. The business standpoint, to sell tickets. I understand why they put him in there. So, there's that right there. But when it comes to the skill events, it's just kind of meh. Then the Celebrity All-Star Game, let's be honest. Do people really care about it? I mean, let's be honest. Who do you have? Let's see. You got, let's take a look. You got some of the players for this All-Star game, you got Badshaw, who? Cody Jones, Andre DeGrassi, Mattia Ishbia, Simu Lou, Mustard, Adrian Nunez, Taylor Frankie Paul, Jason Williams, Keenan Allen, Nicholas Vanchin, if I'm even pronouncing this right. Let me try it. Nicholas Vanstenberg. And on the other side, you got Jenna Bandy, Shams, Taco Fall, Rome Flynn. Some of you guys might not even know who some of these guys are. So I think you're starting to get the point. I mean, you have Amron St. Brown from Detroit Lions. You have Jeremy Lin, Dylan Wang. I mean, see, we know some of these people in there, particularly like the former players, football players like Keenan Allen, Amron St. Brown, but most of these people aren't even really that well known. So it's like, dude, I mean, let's be honest. The Celebrity All-Star Game's really just been a joke anyway. So I'm not really that interested in it. And now, with the All-Star Games itself now, let's talk about that a little bit. They're doing a tournament style. You got first at 5 on Sunday, you got Stars versus the World. Then you got the second one. The winner of that one will face the Stripes in game 2. And then game 3, you got Stripes again. And then you got the finals. So it's a tournament style just like they did last year, which honestly, I understand they kind of got away from. They've changed the format up a little bit. I understand East versus West after a while kind of got a little old. But if you wanted to do something different, here would really just be the best thing. Now, today's NBA, especially with, the influx of European players or Canadian players or players from countries in Africa now in the NBA, you don't have. It's not like it's just, all the best players from the NBA, maybe 1 or 2 international players at best making the All-Star team. Now you got players from all across the world in the All-Star game. So if you wanted to really do something different beside East versus West, you could just do USA versus the world in the All-Star game to create some intrigue. Because that would actually be something different. Because nowadays you have enough players from outside the US, you could actually do that now. You got Giannis, Jokic, Luka, during the years he was fully healthy, and B, because he was from Cameroon, so he's technically international. I mean, you've got, Victor Wembanyama, France. You got enough guys now in today's NBA, you could do something like that, actually, Team USA versus the world, and actually stretch it out between, like, SGA, Canada. So if you're going to go with that theory, he's Canadian. I mean, you got enough guys you can do this nowadays, so why not do it? I mean, let's take a look at the teams real quick. So for the actual event, for Team World in this little tournament setup, let's take a look at the lineup. Give me 1 second. I got to pull up the lineup real quick. So here we go. We're going to go real quick. Let's see. Team World. It's Team World for this year. You got Giannis, Luka, Jokic, Alfred Sengun from the Rockets, Pascal, Shea, Denji, Yedeni from the Trailblazers, Denny Abj. So, Wemby, of course. You got Jamal Murray. So it's like, all right, you got yourself enough players to do it. So why not go for it? I mean, especially with Canada as well. Why not go for it? Make it happen. And it would actually be, if you're going to do, it would actually be something different that I think would draw interest. This tournament style it's a little bit odd to me. And even the way the tournament's explained as I'm looking on NBA.com, I'm trying to figure it out as I'm talking to you guys. Like, it looks very confusing, too. It's like, if you wanted to do something different, USA versus the world would be a more simpler way to do it. Like I said, you got all these players from outside the U.S. now, either Canada, Germany, Australia, France, Serbia, etc. Giannis from Greece. You can easily just do this. Luka representing Slovenia, etc. You got all these players from different countries outside the US. You can just do it that way. SGA Canada. I think people agree that would be something different. But I guess sports in general have fallen off with their all-star weekends. They become so desperate to change. They basically always see a lot of change just for the sake of change. Like we see with football, the flag football game. That was really just change for the sake of change. But it's an unsuccessful format. It doesn't really draw people in. And they decided to put it on a Tuesday just for the sake of something different. Look how that did ratings-wise. That did wonders, right? Yeah, try out 1.6. Now, fortunately for the NBA, they're at least keeping their All-Star. They have enough common sense to keep it on the President's Day weekend in its regular slot. They've kept the skills challenges on Saturday. Oh, wait, while we're still at it, we still have the Rising Stars game. Let's not forget that, too. Because, oh, yeah, there's another big one we can't forget about. The Rising Stars Challenge, because that's... So you got, in this case, it's Team Mello versus Team T-Mac. You got Team Mello. Cooper Flagg was initially voted in. He's going to be replaced by Ace Bailey due to injuries. Okay, fair enough. Circumstance you can't control. You got to find a substitute. Reed Shepard, Stephen Cass from the Dylan Harper, both from the Spurs. Jeremiah Fears from the Pelicans. Donovan Klingon from the Blazers. Colin Murray Boyles from the Raptors. Team T-Mac, you got Con Kneppel, Kel Ware, Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr, who's injured. He's going to be replaced by Bob Carrington. Zachary Rishi replaced by Aja Mitchell. Jalen Tyson from the Cavs. Cam Spencer from the Grizzlies. And then you got the other two game. Then you got the other game. You got Vince Carter, VJ Edgecombe, Derek Queen, Kayshawn George from the Wizards. It's Matthijs Blazelis from the Bulls, Igor Demon, the Russian rookie from the Nets, Cedric Coward from the Grizzlies, Jalen Wells from the Grizzlies. All right. And then, of course, you got the one G League team coached by Austin Rivers. You got Sean East, Ron Harper Jr., Mac McClung, still in the G League legend, folks. Yannick Kahn, Nate Hauser, Ija Martin, Tristan Newton, Yang Hansen. All right. Now, I kind of like the idea of including some G League players, at least to give them the opportunity to compete against NBA players. There's at least the opportunity for some G League guys maybe to shine. Maybe they have a good performance going against NBA rookies and sophomores, and maybe that catches their main roster's attention. Like if Ron Harper Jr. goes out there for the main Celtics, has a really good performance, maybe that catches the Boston Celtics eyes, or if not the Boston Celtics, maybe another team that needs a young role player gives Ron Harper Jr. consideration and give for another shot at the NBA. So there's the opportunity there. I mean, Mac McClung's being replaced by David Jones Garcia, but who knows? Maybe one of these guys actually has a really good performance, and then boom, all of a sudden, a guy like a Sean East or someone, you actually bring him up. So there's at least the opportunity for the G League guys to shine on a brighter stage, maybe catch the NBA fans or NBA coaches' eyes. So I'm okay with giving them the opportunity there. So it's something a little different. I mean, the event, it is what it is. Me personally, I'd rather just catch the highlights if there's and see if anyone actually has a good performance after the fact, after tomorrow night's game. So we'll see on that one there. But I mean, All-Star Weekend as a whole, it's an All-Star Weekend. It's meant to be fun, but like they have with all sports, some of the changes have watered it down, particularly the All-Star Game format itself. I mean, I just think it's just kind of I mean, either do the East versus West that we know works best, or do USA versus the world. The dunk contest. Let's get some more marketable younger players in there. Like, I wish they would set it up where were actually some potential star young players would actually be willing to participate in the dunk contest. Like maybe a VJ Edgecombe or someone along those lines, just to at least draw some more intrigue in the dunk contest. But the NBA does what it does, and we just kind of got to live with it. So that's about it. All-Star Weekend. I may check out some of the highlights from like the 3-point shootout, if there are any good dunks, or if there are any fun plays. But let's be honest, the All-Star game itself sucks nowadays. These players are just going out there. It's like a glorified free shoot around, basically, because the players don't play any defense. We've seen in recent years, there's no defense in those All-Star games at all. It's just offensive players stat padding, hoping to get their little highlight on SportsCenter the next day, or on YouTube, or Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, the next day. So I'm not really looking forward to the All-Star game. Maybe the 3-point shootout and the shooting skills challenge will be a little interesting. Maybe the Rising Stars games might be interesting. But if so, I'll just check out the highlights afterward. That's where I stand on it. So those are my thoughts on NBA All-Star Weekend. We're kind of in the range I expected, a half hour. So Arku, anyone else who stopped by, thanks for tuning in. If you don't catch me dropping any shorts the rest of the day, have a great day. Till next time, Nicky Steve signing off.